In this lesson, we're going to have some modeling exercise. We're going to create a table, a chair, a computer and keyboard and mouse, and a small cactus in a bucket. So let me show you what we will make. So we're going to make this scene, but only this part, this computer. We will create this table, and this keyboard, this mouse, and this chair. So let's get started. So let's start with the table. I'm not going to worry about the size, the dimensions. We will just look at overall size and overall shape. Press 1. This is the front. This will be the front of the desk. Go to edit mode, Shift Z to go to wireframe view, and drag to box select these bottom 4 vertices. If you don't press Shift Z, you can select all. You only select the visible vertices, not all. So Shift Z to go to X-ray view or wireframe view and select everything. This is 2 meters, but it doesn't matter. So let's select and press G and move up, just like that. 7 to look from the top. Press A to select everything. S, Y, and we will make it smaller along a Y-axis. Maybe this size is good. So press 1. Now we need to make the legs. Press 7 again to look from the top. Control R and hover over bottom edge here. Turn the scroll wheel, left click again. And now we will scale these 2 edges. You can go to edge, or you can select these with shift. I select it again. We will scale it along X because I'm going to make a polygon here. Try to make a polygon here. So SX. You can scale it like that, or I will show you one trick. Edge select mode, select these edges. Hold down shift, select these edges, and you can control B to duplicate them, just like that. And we will do the same thing along these along X-axis. Let's go, control R, turn the scroll wheel, left click, SY, and now control B. Make sure these are squares. I think now they are squares. Now that's enough for us, for our purpose. Now let's go to face select mode. You can go to face select by pressing 3 above the letters. Shift Z to go back to solid view. Let's select these, all of them. Press 1. I shift selected all of these 4. I'm going to extrude them down. By pressing E, you just extrude them. And while you're moving or extruding, if you hold down shift, you move more precisely. But I'm not sure if they are exactly on the ground. You can check it. For example, Shift B to come closer. I hope you remember Shift B. We learned it. And if you come closer, it is still above the ground, above this X axis, as you can see. I'll show you a little trick. Shift Z, select all these faces. Shift Z again. And we have the snapping options here. I told you in previous videos this is a bit more advanced topic. So let's turn on snapping. Let's come open this, and we don't change this increment, but we will toggle this absolute grid snap. Let's turn this on, and GZ. Now we can snap it to the grid. Grid means these lines, these square lines or squares. These are called grid, and now we can snap to the grid if we turn on absolute grid snap. After you have finished snapping, you can turn this off. Now Shift B and draw a very small box and come very close, and no matter how close you go, it is just snapped to the ground. It's very. And if you want to learn more about snapping and working with precise numbers in Blender, although it's a bit more advanced topic, I have a video. You can go there and learn. You can find the link above on the top right corner of your screen. So now let's say this table is okay, right? Go to edit mode again. Let's select these. Press 2 to go to edge select mode. Select this edge. Shift select this edge. And now I selected all 4 edges. Shift Z and Control B to create this nice, and turn the scroll wheel to have more cuts. Tab out of edit mode. I think these legs are a bit too thick, but that's fine. Now let's go and create this computer. Now I will show you something to make your life easier. I will just bring in an image and we will create the computer by looking at the image. Have a bit larger place for that image. Let's bring this down. And here I'd like to put my image, and after we have finished modeling I can just come back to outliner. But for now, let's click this editor icon and go to image editor, and you can bring in an image here by pressing open and select any image on your computer. So this thing, the image that we are going to bring here is called a reference image. When you're modeling, when you're making something in Blender or in other 3D modeling software, you usually need a reference image to look at and to make something, especially if you are creating something a bit more complex than our model. So let's bring in an image. You can download some images from the internet and open them by pressing this open icon. So I brought this image of computers. These are Apple iMacs, and these have the laziest design in the world. They're just flat boxes. I think Apple designers are the laziest designers in the world, I think. They don't want any fancy curves or anything like that. But they look elegant, right? So let's try to create one of them. We are not going to make this exactly necessarily. We're just using this as a reference. So let's create one mesh. Let's create a cube. While we're making this computer, we can hide this table. So let's select the table, Shift Z, you can select it like that, and you can press H to hide it. And if you want to unhide that table, you can press Alt H. This is one thing that you can do. Or another thing, you should probably avoid this, but it's a better way to, I will show you that too. You can press the cube that you're going to work with, and you can press the slash key. It's just next to the shift in a Windows machine as far as I know. So you can just press slash and now you can work. This is called local view. If you want to see other things, you can press that slash button again. So local view, global view, go to edit mode, SY in our case, make it very slim, just like that, press 1, SZ. I don't have the exact dimensions of this computer. Say this is fine. Go out of edit mode in object mode. Let's create a cylinder, one cylinder. Go to edit mode, make it very small, and press 1. You should rotate it along Y, but you pressed 1, I hope. You can rotate it by just typing a number, R. In this case, we should rotate it along Y-axis, as you can see, R, Y, right? Because I'd like to create this hinge or whatever we say. So R, Y, 90. Isn't it clever? I think it's very clever. And SX a little, just like that. I don't know, maybe that. And S to make it smaller. SX. And let's put it lower, because as you can see, it's lower. And now that's fine. 1 or 3. Let's make it a bit bigger. GY, put it about here. 1, SY, no, X, to make it a bit smaller along X-axis. So Shift Z to go from this view. I think that's fine. And now we will create this something which holds it. We can create that by just selecting this, press 1 or press 3, go to edit mode, select everything, and we can duplicate stuff by pressing Shift D. This is the first time I think we are duplicating things. now I want to rotate it along which axis? X-axis. But I want to rotate it exactly 90 degrees. So you press, for example, even if you're looking not from orthographic, this correct view, you can view it from anywhere, and you can press R and X to rotate around X-axis, but you can type a number R, X, 90 to rotate with exact degrees. So put them here. You can hold down Shift for more precise movements. SX, make it smaller. Shift Z, actually I'm not sure, but I think these are the same length or width, I would say. This is it. 3. I should bring these edges closer. I don't know if you look from here. GX. Yeah, no, Y. So they should come here. These should go there. Just like that, I think. That's fine. I don't know, maybe this length. But they're a bit thinner. And I think they should go a bit further away from the computer, just like that. And let's select the top. Remember, I'm in Shift Z. I'm not in solid view. I'm in wireframe view or X-ray view. Shift Z. Remember, if you're in solid view, you cannot select all. As you can see, you only select one part. Shift Z, select everything. GZ a little. Now let's create this connecting thing. Go to edit mode, Control R, left click, move it. If you accidentally click left click again, you can select all, GY to move to here, Control B to duplicate. Let's come closer a little, Control B, but turn the scroll wheel until you have only one, just like that. And select the top face, this face. You can select the face by coming here. So you can select this, Shift Z to look from solid view, 3. And now we can extrude and we can move it, GY, just like that. But as you can see, it's a bit too thick. Shift Z, and now we are in vertex select mode. Just select these vertices, hold down Shift, select these. Now you can move them a little, GY, just like that. And I think we should move these also, GY a little, GY, move them away, GY. Maybe that's good. Now Shift Z to look from. I'm not going to rotate this just yet. I could have rotated it just like that, Control L, just like that, but I'm not going to do that because we should do a few other things before we do that. So now I can put this on top of the desk and make it smaller, but as you can see, if I move it, I will leave this hinge behind this part. So how can I make them into one object? Although it's not a good idea to make them as one object, in this case we will do that. So select everything. I can say select everything and Control J. It means join. Now I joined all of the parts to one object. I wouldn't recommend doing this all the time. You can do this only after you have finished everything, and only when you know what you're doing. Especially for beginners, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Instead, I will show you something. Control Z to go back. You can do this. You can select the main object, whatever is the main object that you have. For example, if it is a car, the chassis of the car. If it is a gun, the main part that holds all the other parts together, you can select that part. So the main part, select the main part. Oh, sorry. You should select that main part as the last object. So select whatever small objects you have, and finally Shift select that main part and parent all other smaller parts to that bigger parent. which means all other smaller parts will be children of that big part, and the big part, if you move the big part, the children will follow. So to do that, you should select the small part and shift select the last, the biggest, the main part, and press Ctrl P and object. Or sometimes if things move around when you do that, you should select object, keep transform. In this case, I will just select object. So now if I move the main part, the small part will also move. If I rotate, if I scale, all the time they move together. Press 1. Now I can put it somewhere on the table, and I think Shift Z, these are a bit too thick. GY, just a bit thinner. Let's make it a bit thinner. So now let's unhide the table. Do you remember how we unhide? Alt H, it is not working. Why? Because we are in local view. Do you remember how we went into local view and how we can go out of local view? By pressing that slash button just next to the right shift button on your normal keyboard. So now let's press this, select this. Remember, you don't have to select this small part because we parented GZ to move it on the table. But it's huge, it's too big. Let's make it smaller. You don't have to select this small part, make it a bit more smaller, GZ, and put it by holding down Shift while you're moving. You can more precisely place anything anywhere. Shift B and draw a line to come closer, GZ. You can put it just like that. You don't have to have very, very precise movements here. I think it's a bit too small now. Let's make it a bit bigger. That's good, I think. Shift D, Shift B, come closer, GZ, hold down Shift for more precise movements. We can make the legs also smaller because I don't like them. Go to edit mode of the table, Shift Z and press 7. I'll show you a trick which is a bit advanced. But let's do it in a more simple way. If I want to make this the legs smaller, I should bring this edge closer to this edge, right? Select this edge, these edges, and also the side of the leg. I press 7, Shift select these, and you should scale along y-axis. I hope you know how to do this. SY and bring it a bit closer, just like that. And now we should do the same with these. Select these, Shift select these. Remember, I'm in wireframe view. Shift Z, Shift Z. You should be in wireframe view for this to work. And SX, that's fine, I think. Shift Z. Now the legs are a bit smaller and a bit better, I would say. Now let's create that. So while making the chair, we will learn a few other things. So let's create that chair. We need a cylinder, but we can use this menu, adjust last operation menu. When we add new objects, we can modify their properties. For example, vertices, I think 24 is enough. If you can bring it down, it's great. 16, I think that's also fine. That's fine. So now let's go to edit mode, make it smaller. Do you remember how to work in local view so that these are hidden and I only see the chair? So you can press that slash button or question mark next to right side shift button on your normal Windows keyboard. So 1, this will be front view. Go to edit mode, make it smaller. So I'm going to make something like this. Let me show you. So I will quickly draw, draft, and I will delete it. So something like this. This will be the chairs and that. Something like this. and there will be a padding here to sit, and there will be a padding here to lean. So this will be the chair, so you can delete the node from here. So let's go front view, go to edit mode, make it smaller, put it right here, make it even smaller, and SZ, this is one side, this will be one side of the chair, and so to make the other side, if you learned mirror modifier, we can create a mirror modifier along this axis. So now SZ, I will show you something very interesting. So and 3, I will duplicate this, Shift D and R90. Remember, I am looking from side view by pressing 3. Shift Z, it is better to work in wireframe view. Let's put it right about here. Remember, this should be the middle, and the distance, preferably the distance should be the same to these from the middle. So it's something to be careful. That's fine, I think. And Shift D to create, and Z to create one here. I don't know, maybe select these, GY to make them a bit longer, and select this, Control L to select everything that's connected. I don't know, maybe Shift D, R90. I'm looking from above, so it's by pressing 7. And let's delete this, because I'd like to, if you remember from the last video about mirror modifier, Control L, G, and I can just touch them to each other. By default they are not touching, right? They are not snapping to each other. So let's turn on clipping, and now G, I can snap it just like that, and I will just put it about here, right? That's it. And one thing which is important, I should delete the face between these snapped parts. So let's X and delete this face, because remember, there is a face here. If you go to face selection, Shift Z, there is a face. This face is, usually you should delete the faces between the connecting points with mirror modifier when you connect things with mirror modifier. And now select one thing from here, and do you remember how to select the whole thing which are connected to each other? By pressing Control L. And now let me Shift D and R90. Remember, I'm going to connect them later, connect these parts later. I will show you a good trick for that. So that's fine. I think that's okay. And I will just duplicate this, select one thing. No, don't select this, select only this, and Control L to select everything else. Look from front, GZ, and put it about here. Bring this down a little because this is a bit too high, I think. That is fine. Now let me show you how you can quickly connect these parts. For that, press 3, for example, select these, and we have a nice option in here, Edge menu. You can press Control E for Edge menu. This is the first time we're looking at Edge menu, I think, in this little course. So there is a nice option in Blender which is called Bridge Edge Loops. You can bridge them just like that, and open this Adjust Last Operation panel, and you can increase the number of cuts here, just like that. Maybe a bit more, and you can change the smoothness value just like that. This is a really nice feature. I love it. I use it a lot. And oh, sorry, we forgot about duplicating this for some reason. Control L, Shift D, Z, just Z, press D, and Shift B, come closer, GZ, I think it should go down a little like that. And now let's connect these, Control E and bridge edge loops. The same thing, number of cuts is 5, and the smoothness is remembered 0.6 I think here. And the same thing up here. Control, remember I'm not selecting everything, I'm just selecting these two edge loops. Control B, oh sorry, not Control B, Control E, bridge edge loops. You can find that from here too, you don't have to press Control E. 5 here, edge menu, bridge, more cuts, and right here, edge, bridge, more cuts. 4 was enough too, but I just, for some reason, I opted for 5. So yeah, that's a nice place to, you can sit on here. So let's create a cube. Wow, it's a really big cube. Make it smaller, look from the side view, select this cube, select everything, press 3 to look from side, SZ, G, put it right here, SY to make it bigger, look from front, SY, no, sorry, X, and don't forget to turn this off and just put it down. So, I don't know, I think we should look at a reference image. GZ, put it down a little, go out of edit mode. That's fine, I think. Look from the side view, select this, shift select this padding, go to edit mode. Remember, you can go to edit mode of all select objects, shift Z and select everything here. GZ to put it a bit down by selecting everything here. Remember, I'm not selecting these parts, only the top parts, and don't do something like that, it will screw things up just like that, or don't forget to select something from here and it will break this and create a terrible thing. So remember, if you want to move them down, select everything right here. I think it's a bit too much, just like that. And now I will show you a really good modifier. Go to modifiers, create subdivision surface modifier, increase the resolution. Now let's go to edit mode, Control R, turn the scroll wheel, left click, SX, and yeah, we will do the same here. Control R, turn the scroll wheel to make 2 cuts, left click, SY. I don't know, maybe that's a nice padding. That's fine, I think. And maybe select everything SY a little, just like that. I think that's better. And now 3, go to edit mode, select everything, Shift D, R90, oh sorry, R90, enter. And now if you press SZ, this is not a good idea to press SZ. Instead, Shift Z and select this top part and bring it down just like that. Don't press SZ. Control L, G, and put it right about here. Go out of edit mode. So that's something. Maybe that's a nice chair to sit on. And I'd like to do something. I'll show you something very interesting, or rather useful. Select this. You don't have to press 1. Just go to edit mode. Select everything by pressing A. And whenever you have these tube-shaped stuff, as you can see, these are cylindrical or tube shapes. Let's say cylinder shape. You can press Alt S to make them thicker, just like that, or thinner. So I'd like to make them a bit thicker than before. just like that. Remember, these vertices shouldn't be too close to each other. Shift B to come closer. These shouldn't touch each other. So I think this thickness is much, it looks better. At least to my eyes, it looks a bit better than before. Now we're working in local view. Do you know how to go out of local view? By pressing slash. Wow, this chair is too small. So now we can make the chair bigger. If you select this and make it bigger, only it will be made bigger. You can select both by shift selecting and scale it up, but a better way is parenting. Do you remember how you can parent this softer part to this metal part? So that when you scale the metal part, the soft part will also scale. So to do this, if you remember, you select the soft part and lastly select the metal part. Remember, I'm shift selecting. Select this and shift select the mother or father, rather parent, and press Ctrl P. And you can press select object or keep transform object. So let's select object and let's scale it up. And now you can see both will scale together. And now you can press R, Z 180 degrees. So let's start with the keyboard. I don't know what kind of keyboard I will make, but it will be pretty simple. So cube again, and go to local view by pressing the slash button. Go to edit mode, SZ to make it smaller. Look from the top by pressing 7, SY. I think this is a nice shape for the starting point for the keyboard. And let's make it much less thicker or even thinner, let's say, or just a bit thicker so that it has some depth. So that's fine. Now let's create those keys. So first of all, I can create another cube, but I don't want to. So you can go to edit mode. You can use the same raw material, Shift DZ, and you can use it as keys. But I'll show you something. While it is selected, if it is not selected, if you deselect it by mistake, you can select one part. And do you remember how to select all other part, everything else which is connected to these vertices? I hope you remember. It's Ctrl L. And now I can separate this object, this piece of the mesh or object, to another its own object. Right now, if I go out of object mode, these both are one object. But if I go to edit mode and select these, Ctrl L, I can separate this to its own object. So it is by pressing P. Separate, as you can see, selection by material by loose parts. So I can select selection or loose parts because these two parts are not connected, they are loose, but I will just select selection, which is why I selected. So go out of edit mode now. Now you can see this is another object. This is another. Do you remember from previous videos how to bring its origin point to itself? It's easy. In object mode, remember, just right click, set origin to geometry. So go to edit mode now, select everything, 7 from top, SX and SY again, Shift Z. This is nicer now, as to make this smaller, maybe not so small. Put it right about here. Go out of edit mode, right click, set origin to geometry. So it is not necessary, but it's good practice to bring the origin to the geometry all the time, because I'm going to work in object mode. So while this is selected, I can go to edit mode and Shift D and Y, or no, X to duplicate it, but I'm going to do it in a different way. Go out of edit mode, Control Z, Shift Z. In object mode, I can add a modifier which is array. array modifier, if you remember from previous videos, it just duplicates whatever it is attached to, right? Shift Z. And now if I increase the factor along x-axis, it goes this way, but I would like it to go this way. Or I can simply gx, put it here, right? And 0.2 maybe. I think it's a bit too close, 0.4, 1.4. That's fine. Now I can increase the number of keys very easily. And I can just 0.6. I know 0.5 is fine, I think, for my purpose. gy, oh no, x a little, just like that. Now we have keys on this keyboard, right? Also, I will create more keys in object mode. Remember, I'm in object mode. Shift D, Y. I will create more keys, but these keys will be different shape. Go to edit mode, select this. GY, these will be rather square shape. And now I can duplicate Shift D, Y, just like that, but I don't want to. I will just go out of edit mode. I'll just create, or add another array, add, generate array. But now I will not move along X. It will be 0. I will move along Y, as you can see here. So it will be minus 1.4, let's say, and I will increase the number. Is it okay? I think it's fine, yeah. And now, where is this long key, which we always have in keyboards? Well, I will create that. For that, I should apply the modifier. Let me apply the modifier, second array modifier, and I can go to edit mode. Actually, let me apply the first array modifier, apply it. Remember, after we have applied, all of them are separate pieces of object. So all of them are one object, but they have separate pieces now. Now I can just delete these two. Control L, X, I don't know, maybe I will just, I will just delete these two. Control L, X, delete vertices, and I will select this, GY, no X, and hold down Shift for more precise calculations. I think that's looking nice. But I should have done something before I created this. Let me undo everything that I did just now. While I have these array modifiers, I will do something. So let's go to edit mode, Shift Z. Remember, all of them are now one shape because I'm non-destructively working, right? So I can make them circular. I mean, not all circle, but much more circular than now. I will select all these edges, only edge, these 4 edges, shift select them, and press Ctrl B to make them circular. Let's look from the top. Remember, when I'm doing something like that, and if I want to undo, I shouldn't press left click, but I should press right click to undo that. Ctrl B, turn the scroll wheel, just like that. I think that's better, much better, yeah. And I don't know, maybe I should have more of these, or that's fine, maybe that's fine. But they're too far away from each other, I think. So let's open that and Shift Z, maybe make them closer to each other like that. 1.32, and one more row, GY, no X, just like that. And we will do the same with this. I always get it wrong. So I think the top row is okay, but I will make them a bit circular too. Go to edit mode, select these edges. I'm jumping from edit mode to object mode without saying. It's just by pressing. And now I can apply these mirror modifiers. No, sorry. array modifiers. The general rule is to start applying the top modifier first, not the bottom modifier. Start from the top and go one by one. Now I can just look from the top, go to edit mode, select these, maybe these two, Control L, X, delete. This one too, Control L, X, delete. And now let's go to vertex select mode and select these vertices. Do not do it like that. GX, SX, it will screw things up. Don't do it. Control Z, just select this part, and GX to come to here. That's it. Go out of edit mode. Now you have a long, nice spacebar key. So, and I will make this, go to edit mode, the Shift Z, 1, or just edge, select this, Shift select these 4 edges here, just like that, and make them circular 2 by pressing Control B. That's more Apple-like design, right? I think. Now, do you remember how we can, if I just move this, the keys do not move, so I should parent them. Now, by now you already know how to do that, I think. Select this, Shift select this, and finally select the base of the keyboard and press Control P and set parent to object. Now, if I move this, everything moves along with it. Now I should go out of local view by pressing / key, and I can just select my keyboard, press 3, G, and put it right here. But I would say there is a little mistake or a little problem with this keyboard because it's very flat. The keyboards are usually not so flat. Let's go back, I should select all these and then go to local view. So now 3, let's bring in a cylinder with less vertices, I think 16, that's fine. Go to edit mode, make them smaller, even smaller is SZ a bit taller, smaller, SZ a bit taller. Go out of edit mode. Now R, Y, because I would like to rotate it around Y axis just like that, R, Y, 90. Go to edit mode, select everything, SX, just like that, GY, put it about here. I don't know, it's not particularly or the same as Apple, it's a bit different. GZ, put it here, go out of edit mode, select this, Shift select the base part in object mode. Remember, I'm selecting them in object mode, Control P and object. Now this is the parent, the space is the parent for everything. Now I can just rotate it like that. GZ, I will try to put it in a good position. Rotate a little. GZ. Remember that it is still touching the table. GZ. The next thing will be the mouse. Let's create the mouse. For that, again, we need a cube. Go to local view, go to edit mode, SZ, 7, S to make it smaller, SX, I think that's a nice starting shape for a mouse, I don't know, 3, SZ, that is a nice starting shape, I would say. So now for this, what we can do, I don't know how I can make it in a beautiful way. So let's go out of edit mode. Let's apply a subdivision surface modifier so it's more like circular, right? Just like that. But one thing that I really want is to have one line in the middle of the mouse. Remember that. If I increase it, I have one line here. So this is important. Now I can just go to Side view by pressing 3, go to edit mode, Control R, and do it like that. Maybe that, just like that. And 1, Control R, 1, I don't know, maybe GY a little. And I will just select this part, this edge, maybe just this edge. Remember, I'm not in I'm not in wireframe view. Shift Z, I should go to wireframe view just like that, and then select it, and maybe do something like this. Or I think that's not a great idea. Let's move it a bit down, just like that, and this down like that too. Go out of edit mode, Shift Z. I think that's looking nice. This mouse, I like this mouse. And now what we can do is to apply this subdivision surface modifier, because I need this to be a real shape. Now Shift Z, and I select this lower part and just delete it. Just delete these vertices. Instead, I will have a flat surface down here. Alt select. I hope you remember alt selecting. And now I have two ways to fill this big hole. One, I hope you remember, how do we fill these holes? Do you remember from last lesson? By pressing F. F is filling holes, just like that. But that's not the best thing in the world to do. Here is another thing. We will see which one works better. In face menu, we have grid fill, which tries to fill this flat shape with grid, with multiple polygons. Let's do that. And I think this is much better fill. Go out of edit mode. I hope we have done the job. So that's a nice flat surface right here. Now we will create the clickable parts. So first of all, I should go to edit mode, face menu, face select mode, Shift Z, and select these faces. I think these faces are fine. These are enough. Only these faces. And now I can separate them from the rest by pressing Y. If I press Y, now this part is separate. It is just cutting. And now I can do this. Look, I can hide the selection by pressing H, or I can hide the parts which are not selecting by pressing Shift H. So I press Shift H. In Blender it works all the time, and I select this part and just press Y again to separate these. Now go to Edge View, Edge Select Mode, select these edges, and do you remember how to slide these edges along other edges? I talked about that in the last video. So press G twice, G again, to move them a little. And also these edges, G, I can move them a little like that, and press Alt, press this, or just press that, G, just separate them a little. But I think it's a bit too much, right? Select this edge, select this edge maybe. So GX to move them, but now it's not aligning very well. Shift Z, Control Z, I'm sorry. So can we do SX? No, because they are almost touching each other. So Alt select one part, and let's select this part, Control L, and hide it, 7. Now select this and GX a little. I think this is too open, right? I think it's a bit too open, this part especially. So select these two faces, Control L, Shift H to hide everything else, 3. So 1 to go to vertex select mode, select these vertices, Shift Z, select these, GY a little to move. Go out of edit mode. I think that's better. Go to edit mode, 3, select these, GZ a little. I don't want to take too much time here, and see how it looks. I think it looks better. But now we need the scroll wheel, which is important, right? So Shift A, cylinder, go to edit mode, make it much smaller, 3, Shift Z, SZ, go out of edit mode, RY90, remember, make it smaller, put it here, put it a bit down here, make it a little bigger, Shift Z, I think that's fine. Go to edit mode, SX to make it a bit bigger, Shift Z, and now by going to face select mode, I will select this face, and Control B a little. Let's have less cuts, only one cut, just like that. Go out of edit mode, I think that's alright. And now we can do this. We can go to edit mode, one edge loop here by Control R, and leave it here, Control R, left click, right click, and Alt select this loop, and Shift Alt select this loop, 7, GG. I know I'm doing a bit more, these might be a bit more difficult for you. Control R and left click, right click, Control R, left click, it doesn't matter. And we have, you don't have to do this, this part, I think. Control R, you don't have to do this part actually. And face select mode, select this face, Shift select these, and delete these faces. Face, delete. I just created this open area for this. And I think that's a nice mouse, but I want to show you one last thing. Select this mouse, I don't like this very thin style, and go to modifiers. Let's experiment with solidify modifier, and now they are solid, as you can see. They are not very thin, and we can increase the solidify amount here a bit, increase it, Shift C to see how thick they are. They're very thick now, and I think this is a little better way of creating stuff. So go to edit mode. I think we need to open them. Select this, Shift Z, 7, GG, and select this, Control select, hold down Control and select this line, and GG to move them, or just GX to move them away a little. Shift Z, I think that's a little better. Let's bring it down 0.02. Local view by pressing slash. Now let's move this mouse up. Remember, we need to parent this small middle mouse button. Shift select the mouse, Control P, object, select this object 1 and 3, and put this gigantic mouse here. It looks so scary next to this computer, so let's make it much smaller. Now one last thing that we are going to create is the cactus just next to the computer. Let's create a cylinder, but this time the cylinder will have more resolution, like 24 for example. That's better resolution. Go to local view, go to edit mode, 3, Shift Z, select this bottom part, make it smaller. I think that's fine. And select maybe this top part. I hope you remember I from last lessons. E to extrude down. And I don't think we need to extrude this much. I don't know. Maybe here, and S to make it smaller, just like that. So now I'd like to make this part a little bigger. Control R, move it, left click and move, and go to face select. Can you select all the faces, face loop here, all the faces around this bucket? I hope you can. By pressing Alt, you can select all the faces. Alt E to extrude along normals. I hope you remember this from past videos. Just like that. A little, yeah. That's fine, I think. And now we can create the cactus. To be honest, I don't know what cactus is like, but I will try to make something which looks good. Let's find a reference image of a cactus from the internet and bring it here. So I found a few images and I brought this one. Yeah, it seems like there are so many types of cactus. I didn't know that because I just don't use any cactus on my in front of my computer. Shift Z, G, Z, S, and let's actually go to vertex select, Alt select these vertices S to make it a bit larger, just like that. And let's create these rather strange shapes. So Shift A. I don't even know how to make them. Let's try to make them with a cube. Go to edit mode, SZ, or maybe SX. This shape. Go out of edit mode. Add a subdivision surface modifier. GZ. Increase. Go to edit mode, SY a little. Look from the side. Shift Z. Select this part. S to make it smaller. I think that's a nice shape. So go to edit mode, select everything, Shift D, make it smaller, put it here. Now let's go to edit mode of the bucket and select this bottom face, X, and delete this face, only face. And let's go to edge select, vertex select, Alt select these vertices, and let's try to fill them in a grid fashion. So that's better because I want to make some imperfections here. So let's select this, activate the proportional editing, GZ. I said that proportional editing is not used very often, but contrary to what I said, I use that often. So select this cactus, shift select this bucket, Control P object. Now this bucket is the parent of this cactus. So now hit slash to go out of local view 3. Yeah, that's everything that we wanted to model in this little course. You can, but I highly encourage you to make something else. Maybe a table lamp, maybe something else. Create with curves, you can create some cables, or yeah, whatever you want, whatever you can think of, just create. And the model, the project, a bit more compelling than this. It's too simple, I know. So anyway, this is what I wanted to show you. See you in the next lesson, where we will learn how to give colors and some materials to these objects.